It seems like you made a mistake when filling out your address.
Nah, bro. You ain't getting that.
Don't worry, and I will just correct it for you.
What the freak is...
One moment.
What?
I have a question that I have been meaning to ask you. Why have you been recording me?
Hell no, this ain't part of the game!
Can I see your face?
No.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, bud.
Oh, this is not good!
What?
What is he installing on my computer?
9, please don't! Please don't! Please don't! Please don't! Please don't! Please don't! Please don't!
Good egg. Wait, we have a webcam on this camera? I'm just shocked by the fact that we have a webcam on this camera.
KinitoPet has kinda exploded as of recently, and I can understand why. It's an indie horror game that, for what initially seems like a fun and slightly mundane game, transforms into what I can call best a psychological horror. If you were alive in the 1990s, which I can assure a majority of my audience is not, then you might remember the infamous Bonzi Buddy. This seemingly innocent virtual helper would help with tasks like scheduling, customization, and all sorts of mostly gimmicks to breathe your computer some life. Well, notoriously, later it was found to basically be a spyware in which it would collect your information in order to make money off of you. Now, it never delved into what I would call an infectious or entirely malicious software, but it did emanate a weird aura with the fact that it could do so many features, such as managing your downloads and having emailing capabilities. Well, KinitoPet is basically that, but on steroids.
In recent... error. There's been an error, and the data stream has been... Whoa! Okay, oh yes? Congratulations! What? Whoa! Hang on!
To start off, KinitoPet loads up like an early 2000s computer. You hear what sounds like the boot up of an OS, and next thing you see is a login screen. At this point you might be wondering what you need to do, but it's actually quite simple. The login requires your actual computer password to continue, which you'll see a lot of this type of interaction later on in the game. This game really likes to push the boundaries on what you think is private and not. The game seemingly loads up as if it's your normal desktop. There's some apps available that let you access the internet and your personal files. However, when you try to browse the internet, something goes awry. After loads of flashing images and pop-up ads that appear on your screen, it loads up with a strange page with what seems to be an internet companion called Kinito. To make things short, you're forced to download the seemingly harmless.exe file, and you're introduced to the many features of Kinito. After being introduced, you begin playing some short games with his other friends, but notice some things start to give you a sense of dread. Everything seems to be mostly alright until...
Kinito wants to play a fun game with you. You must hide.
It's there. Just keep moving. It's on the right. It's on the right.
Eventually the OS restarts and you're back to your normal desktop. After a little more banter, Kinito suggests the idea of what's called the Best Friends Analysis Hub. Seems very simple, so you decide to fill it out. However, some problems seem to occur if you don't fill it out as he likes it.
That's right. I'm your best friend, forever and always.
However, because of your clear ignorance, you continue to fill out the form. Everything seems relatively fine until he asks you a question.
I have a question that I have been meaning to ask you. Why have you been recording me?
What?
I noticed that you always seem to have an app open called OBS, and so I was wondering why you would be recording me.
What the fuck?
After that, things go downhill pretty quickly.
99999. 999999999 help!
Doors. Are you kidding me?
Hell no, this ain't part of the game. I was just playing Elmo.
Should I wide swing him?
Yes, you can see my face.
That is not okay.
Please don't. Please don't.
Goodbye, Bryson.
Finally, even after all of that, your ignorance has the best of you, as you don't bat an eye and push further into the game. Kinito eventually invites you to join the Friendship Club, which allows him to do many more features on your computer. However, there's one slight problem. In order for you to have more features, he needs admin access to your computer. Now, to make things easy, you really don't have a choice in this.
Amazing! Now whenever you're ready, could you just type the command grant KinitoPet.exe system.access. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are going to have so much fun together. Everlasting fun!
After he gains admin permissions, he, in a turn of events, uses them to make for you a fully custom 3D world. The explorable world is filled with your input that you enter during the friendship analysis process. It seems as if maybe this slightly over-obsessive virtual pet didn't actually mean for malicious intent. In what seems to be a wholesome twist of events, he asks you one final question.
I was wondering, will you stay with me? In this house, in this world, just think of all the adventures I could generate. We would never... What? What do you mean, no? After all we have been through, you would want to leave. Do you realize how little power you have in this situation? It was never a question. I just wanted to give you an easy option. I suppose it's time.
Now, whatever choice you choose, it inevitably ends the same both ways. The computer appears to overload in some way and crashes as the end credits roll. So you might be wondering at this point, wow, that was a lot of information, but how does that make this game psychologically scary? Well, you see, it's a mix of the illusion of supposedly sentient life, as well as the unforeseen and unprecedented power that quote-unquote life has. The game presents a multitude of choices as you proceed through it. Some may seem unnecessary or actually quite irrelevant to the final composition of the gameplay, but as you find out at the end, not everything was purely for filler. In fact, many of your choices seem to affect how Kinito will react to you. If you purposely don't fill out questions correctly, Kinito sometimes will appear upset to the point that he'll even correct it for you. This addition to the game adds weight to your answers, making it as if you were answering to a real person and not a coded input and response. He even has responses when you become inactive or come back from a break to give more emphasis on Kinito being more than purely lines of code. Now, this illusion of an almost sentient being doesn't necessarily give a sense of threat, but when it has the ability to change things on your computer without your permission, things start to get interesting. Throughout the game, Kinito manipulates your computer in many ways that most games wouldn't. There's points where your volume is changed, your mouse control is taken over, windows and files are created and opened without your permission. It knows your computer name and password. It even has access to turn your whole monitor off and on when it wants. In most cases, normal games would never reach this far in what feels like a privacy breach, but in reality, .exe files have full capability to do so and more. It engages with your private information so much that there's even a specific mode at the beginning called streamer mode, so it won't dox your private information to the world. I think it's the fact that at this point we've never really seen a game that has created such reaching power over us, which is why everyone has gone crazy for this game, in a good way of course. I personally love the fact that to make a game scary, you don't have to introduce horrifying creatures or an eerie environment. All you need is a personal connection. When you see your name being written on your monitor, or have to face the decision of killing one of your Steam friends, it links the virtual world to the real world. Even though there's no lasting impact of your choices, it makes it feel like there's real weight and consequence if your choice was not optimal, which, added together in a naive and seemingly innocent world, makes what I think is a great, mentally nerve-wracking game.